It's time. 2 years has passed, and I've been waiting to do the stream the entire day. A little bit nervous, thinking of what I'm going to say to you guys. But the only thing I can say is thank you. Thank you for sticking with us for 2 years. Thank you for supporting us on this particular stream. Everybody's been telling us to do Facebook Live, Instagram Live, Twitch, and we just said no. We're going to stick to our guns and we're going to do YouTube, and we're growing quite nicely over here. So thank you for the family that has supported us. I'll call you guys our family because you've stuck with us through thick and thin. I mean, I think everything that could have gone wrong in the last 2 years has went wrong, from a cricket perspective with regards to COVID-19. I mean, I had a COVID-19 incidences in my own family where where people close to me had COVID-19. I had to look after them. So it's been a crazy, crazy 2 years. But we got through it, and we got through it together. And I don't think I can sit here without saying thank you to everybody that was involved. I mean, from the people that started right at the beginning with me, to the writers that we have, to the guys that have been doing streams with me. I don't want to be mentioning too many names because I'm on the spot here and I'm live, and I might forget one or two. It's over 21, 22 names that I have to remember. So thank you so much for everything that you've done for us. And we thought that the best way to celebrate as well, coincidence that he messaged me today to chat, but we've got Zubayr Hamza here for you as the guest on this channel. You guys asked if I'm going to bring a guest on the channel because the Proteas are currently playing and there's so much cricket happening. It's difficult for me to bring a guest, so it was by complete chance that this happened. So it was almost fate, I would say. So let's get into it, guys. Let's have this conversation. Get your questions ready for Zubayr as well. And Aditya is going to be on the stream as well with me today. And let's have an awesome stream. I mean, we know that the Proteas will be playing tonight. Apparently, there's like a 70% chance of rain over there. So I just heard in one of our groups, Hano, one of the friends that comes onto the channel sometimes and on this particular podcast, let us know that. So yeah, hopefully the rain doesn't stop South Africa from winning the series, you know what I mean? So let's see what happens with that. But guys, let's get into the stream. I'm really excited about this. To the guys that are new, please click subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos, and let's get straight into the show. Let's do this. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid Mohideen. This is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. But obviously, this is a special episode because this is our 2-year anniversary. Welcome to the show, Aditya. Welcome to the show, Zubayr. Really excited about this one. Let's get straight into it. First and foremost, I think we need to catch up with Zubayr first and foremost. It has been a long time since we've spoken. How's things been? I mean, obviously, SA tour. Now I don't know if you're back. You went to England, so there's a whole lot of things that that's going on at the moment in your life. But how's things been?
How's it? Things have been alright. Pretty busy. A lot of traveling over the past couple months. A fair amount of cricket, which is good. And yeah, a lot of days in quarantine or bubble. So just that's kind of what the life is about at the moment.
Yeah, I'm probably stealing Aditya's question here, but what's it like to be in bubbles? Like, I mean, you've been in so many over the last couple of years and a half, even. I mean, from domestic bubbles to obviously international ones with the SA team, and now again for your time in England. How do you keep yourself sane in this time?
I suppose it's just firstly being comfortable being by yourself. And then also, I suppose you have the friendships that you've built within squads or teams that you're playing for. So there's always people to socialize with. Yes, people. I'm sure the guys get sick of seeing the same faces over and over again, but I suppose it's part of the environment, part of the experience, part of the the current world climate, really, there's more pressing issues than being in a bubble or being by yourself for a few days. So yeah, just having safety being the prime goal of the bubble, that would be the most important part of it. So yeah, just kind of dealing with it. It's been tough at times, but there's more pressing issues than that.
Yeah, of course. So let's get into some cricket talk. Aditya, I'm going to let you kickstart this conversation because with all the comments that are coming into the comment section at the moment, I'll let me get your questions out of the way because you sit so quietly and respectfully all the time. You should actually just barge in and just put out your mic and speak. But no, Aditya, get your questions in. I'd like to hear what you have to say. And Zubair, good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, how's it, Zubair? Welcome to the show,
How's it?
mate.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your rich vein of form. I suppose my first question is that what's your secret to batting long?
Remembering tough times that I've been through, on and off the field. I'd be lying if I didn't say a bit of selfishness in there, and just sticking to the basics for as long as I can. I'm a firm believer that the team that usually wins is the team that does the basics the best for the longest. And in the same way, I feel like that's kind of one of the key focuses that I put on myself, or for myself, is to kind of do the basics for as long as I can. If I can do that, then I'll experience a higher percentage of better scores next to my name.
We can hear a little bit of Senitembe Kloshile there. It's like he's rubbing off on Senitembe as well in that tour. Because it's exactly the same stuff that we've heard there from him.
I suppose I batted with him for quite long, so
yeah.
shared ingredients or kind of secrets for success between the two of us while we're batting.
No, that's excellent, man. Yeah, I think a majority of this is going to be about red ball cricket because the next issue of the magazine is going to be all about red ball cricket. Yeah, Aditya, just continue with your questions. I'll love to hear what else you have planned.
So on that 2019 tour of India, which was quite a challenging one, with respect to spin and perhaps the difficulties of facing Indian spinners on dust balls. What were your lessons from that tour, and do you think it's made you a better player?
The lessons prior to or during that tour was not to go in with a or fixed idea of what you're going to be facing. I've been on tours through the National Academy where we were training for weeks on end, trying to face spin, scuffing up the nets, trying to play the sweep shot. And then we got there, and then the first game, one of the seamers kind of took majority of the wicket. So I kind of went in with a clear mindset or clean slate or page with what to expect going into that one game that I played in India. Unfortunately, it helped me up. It helped me out in the game, as well as not having any of the baggage of the previous two games we lost. So I think that kind of helped me, and obviously the newer guys in the team was to just do my best to kind of take an opportunity that I got.
Yeah, so let me just jump in here quickly because, I mean, maybe it's the wrong time for me to actually speak it on camera and say this, but I mean, I've been saying it for a couple of months. I mean, I think that you deserved an extended run in the team, obviously the test team, and I know you're not going to say that agree with me or anything because of your humbleness, but I mean, I thought that that's how it should be. That when you do struggle in the national setup, and especially if you're a younger player, that you should be given extra time at the crease. I mean, it's the same thing that we're telling now, talking about Carl, and we're talking about KP now as well. People are already there to chop off their heads and say, no, they must be out of the team, etc. And I'm like, wait, just slow down a bit, guys. if youngsters, they need more time. And I've been, I mean, you know that, and the guys know that I've been calling for your name to be in the mix for a very long time. But I just want to speak to you about that step up, because the step up to international cricket is not easy at all. First and foremost, we know that on a general scale. Even if you're playing county cricket or you're playing a high standard of cricket domestically, South Africa's domestic system is quite hectic as well, which people don't actually realize. But the step up from there, because school kids come out of school and they play majority, maybe time cricket in Kaimajolovic, and then they play majority white ball cricket. I mean, the Rondebosches, the Saxes, all of them of the world. Majority of the time they're playing white ball cricket, T20, the T20 games that were at Bishops and under lights and were like the big major, like you name in lights type of moments. No real emphasis on the longer format as much. You come out to school, there's no competitions now. I know maybe when you were at school and Diane was at school as well, there was like a 3-day competition that kids used to play, I think, outside school. Yeah. That's no longer there anymore. So that step up, how did you prepare yourself for the step up, and how much? I think Ashwell Prince would have played a big role in that as well, maybe.
Yeah, well, at first I played a bit of amateur cricket, and then if you're talking about professional cricket, the step up to playing for the Cubs was my first year. That I played 4 games, didn't perform. Lost my spot in the team, and then you kind of have to go through the learning process again, and kind of just grind it out for another season, and then fortunately got another opportunity the next year. So I think there's every player experiences differently. Some people they just start off and fluently kind of integrate into that level of competition. Others they kind of have to just find the reason why they weren't good enough at that time. So yeah, I think there is a big step up between international cricket and domestic cricket. There's a lot more scrutiny. There's a lot more off the field things that you have to deal with, and that's just completely outside of the game itself, and you're playing against the best that another country has to offer. And when you speak about obviously continued opportunity, it's tough when, for example, guys like Carl and Keegan, they are, in my opinion, good enough to play international cricket and represent South Africa. But if you look at it, they play 2 tests now, and then they wait a few months again with no cricket in between. Well, not much longer format cricket in between, and then so it's a difficult thing. It's what do we want as supporters of the Proteas team? Do we want them to win series, win matches? Because that's exactly what they did, and they played in what I would consider quite trying conditions to be batting in. So yeah, I was happy with the fact that that they won the series, they played well, and if we want to start getting momentum, and being a team that people kind of recognize as a strong test squad, you have to start winning games, and that's what fortunately they started doing now. So yeah, for me it's just about grinding it out and kind of putting performances next to my name again, and then hopefully if there's another opportunity, then I can grab that.
Yeah. Is it like when we talk about the step up, is it because of the amount of quality? And that because there's the margin for error is obviously then less, because when you play, obviously if you're playing domestic cricket in South Africa, it's not like you're going to see Jofra Archer as well as Jimmy Anderson, as well as Stuart Broad, as well as Mark Wood, all bowling at you in one particular match. Is it that you found difficult, the continuous consistency, every single ball and over the pressure?
I feel like in my case personally, I felt like I didn't stick to what worked for me, or what works for me. You get to a certain level, and yes, there are people that will give you information, and it's up to you to kind of pick out which works for you best, which information will improve you as a player. And for me, I ended up just, kind of getting a bit scrambled in terms of which things work for me and sticking to the things that, has proven or that I've proven to myself works, to kind of put performances next to my name. So that's kind of a learning curve where I discovered, okay, that's where I could have gone wrong. Other than that, I played against good international teams, in my opinion: Pakistan, India, England, and I'm fortunate, or I'm glad, that I was able to kind of face strong teams straight off the bat and kind of get a better understanding of what the level is and what's required to kind of perform and stay at that level.
No, that's excellent insight. I mean, because we all try to think about it and talk about it and think, what is the difference? Like, because some people say this, some people say that. It's good to hear from you directly that, what the toughness of it is. And you also were in the most difficult period for South African cricket, I would say, because we didn't have a coach first, and then it switched, and then it was Boucher, then it was all over the place. South Africa was all over the place. CSA was all over the place. So it was quite a difficult time for you. I mean, also replacing a guy from of the caliber of Hashim Amla. I mean, obviously you knew about all the talk in the media and everybody saying, "Oh no, he's replacing Hashim." It's the constant, obviously. I mean, you've met Hashim. You've worked with Hashim. What are some of the lessons you've learned from a man of that caliber?
There's a lot of lessons about just, being a good human being off the field, and how that the way you live off the field kind of translates into how you are as a player, your ability as a player, the way people um, think and have their opinion of you as a person, player on the field. Some of the lessons that I learned was kind of just sticking to the basics, really. Staying calm as much as you can to the best of your ability, even though, there's tough situations that you'll always be faced with. But I mean, that's the name of the game, really. Cricket is, it's a sport, it's a profession. Like anything else, there's pressure on you from uh, going to training on time, all of those things that people would experience in any other job. There's sort of pressures that come with it, just different ones, obviously, in sport and cricket. So it's kind of dealing with that pressure and how to deal with that pressure. Those are like the small things that I've picked up on, and I've sort of gotten a bit of insight from him as how he goes about it, and how I could use some of those lessons in the way I deal with whatever's in front of me.
Cool. Aditya, I'm going to give you two more, and then we can go straight into the fan comments.
I heard about Mayank Agarwal from the Indian team often using meditation and trying to replicate the number of hours that he would bat in the nets, so that would prepare him well for a test match. What's your ideal preparation for a test match?
I kind of just try and keep it as simple as possible, really. Get your sleep in, rest well, take things, do, for example, train the way you would play firstly, but also like don't overdo it, don't overthink things, especially before a match, whether it's test match, whether it's a club match. I kind of kept the pre-match routine fairly similar throughout. So kind of just stay calm as much as possible and not think about it too much. Certain things will work for certain guys. Some guys want to eat balls for hours the day before. Other guys don't want to touch a bat before the game. Different things work for different people. Speaking of Mayank, he's an awesome batter that I've played against a few times. That meditation could be something that's worked for him, and you can see it in the way he plays. Doesn't really get flustered much. So like just watching other people, you can kind of pick up certain things that work for them, and as the more you play, the more you can kind of test those out for yourself and then see what works for you.
This is a question that we asked Ryan Kulton as well. And since you were on that trip to India, I was wondering how much DRS sort of contributes to the way you formulate your batting game plan. Given that these days virtually anything that hits your pad is referred and likely given out.
Um, I don't know. It's a pretty tough topic. There's a lot of different opinions that go around on it. I haven't given it too much thought really. I just focus on playing, and I mean, try not to let it hit my pad firstly. So especially going to India, or the subcontinent, you know, different dismissals get brought into play. Whereas you play in South Africa, guys want to get you caught behind, stuff like that. Whereas you go to the subcontinent, guys are bowling straight to fuller lines, to bring in LBW and bold. So especially in India, that DRS is a big thing that plays a role in the way you think about your batting. You know, you take up different guards, different stances to kind of counteract that, or kind of counter that sort of opportunities that a bowler can have to get you out. But I think it changes for different conditions, and I think you can see that from the best players in the world. They kind of adapt to different conditions wherever they play in the world. And you know, you watch guys like Kane Williamson, Virat, Steve Smith. You know, they could have different guards at any given time, and kind of watch and you try and figure out what they're doing. And you pick up, oh, okay, they're playing in the subcontinent. The guys are batting, or kind of staying leg side of the ball because they want to get trapped LBW. So that is a big thing about DRS. Some people overuse it, if I can put it like that. Blatantly overuse it. But I mean, does the job, I suppose.
Cool. So, guys, I just want to, before I ask the questions, I'm just going to ask one from each person. So I know you guys are asking like five different questions by one person. I'm just going to ask one of them. And I'm sorry if I don't ask the one that you want to. I'll be asked or answered the most. Okay. So I'm going to start with the first one that you've asked. Question for Zubayr. Even though you're best known for your consistency at first class level, what's your secret to adjusting to other formats? Obviously, we saw the way you played in the T20 challenge. Hot, bro.
Thanks. Yeah, I started off really well in the longer format of the game at the domestic level, and kind of just made subtle changes to my game plan. More importantly, not as much technique, but more importantly, the game plan, sorting areas, which are my strengths, which areas to score will best suit my batting style. And slowly but surely kind of adjusted it into a limited overs format, a 50 over game plan and a T20 game plan. I'm not the biggest guy, so kind of sticking to what works for me, deflecting balls, using the pace, using my body to kind of manipulate the areas that I hit. Those are important factors for me, and kind of building a game plan around that. So yeah, I'm still always looking to learn and kind of adapting it better. So that's currently where I'm at.
Yeah, before my buddy Craig Sturton messages me, I should have said heat brew. Like that's what he likes to say. How much hours does he put into his batting? Okay, do you put into your batting in the off season?
Okay, so I don't really count the hours. Being from Cape Town, where the winter is very wet and you don't get many opportunities to get outdoor training. We end up training a lot indoors, and that's why I decided to come play, even though it's club cricket in the off season here in the UK. I decided to come just to get some more game time outdoors. Fortunately, went to Zimbabwe, so got quite a bit of training done there and match time. But likely we'll get quite a bit more now in the UK. Get some outdoor training, which is important. In terms of hours, not really sure. train until I feel like I'm ready and I've got the ball rolling, so that when the season starts back home, then I'll kind of hit the ground running.
Cool. Next one is from Werner, one of the long-term followers of this channel and Cricket Fanatics Magazine Patreon as well. Zubayr, how much of a relief was it to finally find some form in the CSA T20 Challenge after a difficult season? And how was it to lead the SAA side in Zimbabwe?
So if you had to actually kind of tally up the duration of time, it was since I'd scored some decent runs, it was more than just this past season, and it was big for me. It was a big might not have been a massive achievement as a cricketer, but to kind of put in a performance where you can put your team in a winning position, that was like a massive hurdle that I had to overcome. And once you keep pushing forward and you keep persevering, and things don't always go your way, and it weighs heavily on you as a player, because personally I'm very hard on myself. So that was a big achievement for me, and I knew that kind of once I got going and kind of found that rhythm again, then I would just do my best to kind of run with it and not get ahead of myself. Unfortunately, it ended up with another fifth, I think, the next day. So that was big for me. I was really chuffed and relieved with myself for getting past that hurdle. And then was it to lead the SAA side in Zimbabwe? It was firstly an honor for me. I mean, just the opportunity to lead. Not necessarily the Proteas, but a team that represents the country is, that's a big thing. So it was an honor for me to just lead the SAA side, and more importantly, to kind of win the series, regardless of who we were playing. In the one days, we had quite an experienced side. We had a few guys that were regular international players. So that was good to always kind of learn from them, and I would say it was quite easy in a man management point of view, because a lot of the guys are experienced. They've done well for quite a number of seasons in the domestic side, and they know what works for them. So I didn't really have to micromanage anyone, so that was good.
And I want to ask my own question in here. Sorry about that, but as a captain, how much do you learn from the players in your side, especially when you're a captain at your age? You like mid 20s, and a lot of the guys, or some of the guys are older than you, but you also got quite a few younger guys underneath you. Like you said, you batted for long hours with Senditembra Kashile. So what do you learn from the guys that you captain?
You learn things like just about individuals, people as individuals, and what works for them, what makes them kind of tick, and you kind of get a better understanding of how different people have their own methods, and then also just you get the opportunity to learn just by watching other people. I mean, a lot of the time you don't have to talk to someone. You can just watch the way they train, watch the way they play, how professional they are, how disciplined they are, how relaxed they are. So there's different things that you can kind of pick up from different players and take on board, and you can understand, okay, so this was their process, and the following day, the following game, they performed well. Did that process have anything to do with the outcome, the performance? And then you can start to gather as much information as you can. Even batting with someone, you can understand, okay, I might be feeling a certain way about the conditions, the scenarios, the opposition. That guy's got a difference of opinion. What is he thinking? Oh, that works for him. Take that on board, and then see, okay, that could work for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
So just different viewpoints, different opinions make a big difference.
Awesome. Okay, so how long do you take practicing a particular shot that you may be not good at?
quite long actually to kind of integrate it into my game plan. I'm not the greatest sweeper, but I might train that quite a lot. Just the basics of it, and then use it when I feel that would be best suited during my innings. If I can't play the cut shot, then I'll start with the basics of running the ball down to third man, or using the pace of the ball, as opposed to trying to actually hit the ball as hard as I can, and then slowly start working on or increasing or improving the basics of that shot until I feel confident enough to use it in a game. So that duration of time changes per shot. Yeah, I wouldn't put a specific time period, amount of hours on how long it takes to train, because one season your flick could be coming out the middle of your bat for the entire season, and the next season you can't hit the shot, so then you have to go back to the basics of it and train it again. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask two more from the fans, because we obviously, you guys know that the game is on and we're gonna have to cover that, of course. So who's your best mate in the Proteas team, Zubayr?
Wow.
You're asking him to pick here, guys. Yes, sis.
Yeah, I think that's quite hard. I don't think I have a best mate in the Proteas team. I'm friends with a lot of them on a decent level, but I wouldn't say that any of them is my best mate. I hang out with a lot of people in the team, if I can say that. So
Yeah.
I can't answer that question. Don't make me decide.
Do you have any ambition to break into the white ball side? Of course you do.
Yes, I do. How long that takes me doesn't matter. The ambition's there, and I'll continue to kind of improve and work as hard as I can. Hopefully one day earn an opportunity.
Okay, just one more, sorry. Which grounds have you enjoyed batting in the most?
In terms of atmosphere, I was fortunate enough to play in the Newlands New Year's Test, so it would be wrong of me to say that Newlands isn't one of my favorite grounds to play at. Batting wise, I don't know. Peter Maritzburg, there's always runs there for me, so it's not one of the most iconic grounds, but it's one of the grounds that I enjoy batting at. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Okay. This I have to ask Keys, because he's been on the channel for quite some time. So, what areas of your batting are you currently working on?
I'm currently working on playing or making my game against spin as basic as possible, as well as in terms of my setup, being nice and still as long as possible. So those are the two areas that I was focusing on during my recent tour to Zimbabwe. Other than that, I focus majority of my energy or mental capacity on game plans versus technique.
Teacher, I have to let you end off. What is anything else you want to ask Zubayr before we say goodbye and say goodbye to the fans as well?
Not much. Just good luck, mate. I hope you're enjoying your time, and we hope to see you back with the Proteas setup soon enough.
Hopefully one day, yeah. Thanks.
Soon, yeah. So hopefully one day soon. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for coming on the show. Thank you a lot, Zubayr, for giving you your time. I know it's tough, you in England and everything, and for doing it on our birthday. It was a big birthday present for me without you even knowing. So thanks a lot for coming on the channel and coming on and celebrating our 2-year anniversary with us. Hope we can chat again very, very soon. Maybe after the trip to England, see what you've learned there and what it's been like. To the guys out there, thanks a lot for tuning in on this particular stream. I know you guys are tuned in to the game, etc. And our streams normally on game day are a little bit less than the other days. But this is the type of video that I want you guys to still watch even after, like down the line. There's so much lessons that Zubayr has given here for young cricketers, for fans, for people out there that can really learn from some of the stuff that he said here. So just make sure that you do look at this. To the guys that see this later, this will be in our magazine as well, the latest issue, because there's a lot of being said here about red ball cricket. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Please, guys, don't forget to download the latest issue of the magazine and become a subscriber. The link is on the screen and in the description. It's 100% free. Zubayr is on one of the covers as well. So you can get one of the back issues, all the back issues, absolutely free, no cost at all. All I want is your support. That's it. Thanks a lot for watching. Smash that like button, comment, share it with all your friends and family, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow with a review show as well as a daily show. Take care, everyone.